It's funny, like whenever somebody says you're a master fetish trainer, they always say, you mean like feet? Or they go like straight to assless leather chaps.
The other thing too is that like all of the things that we do are literally in that title. Master fetish trainer. What do you do?
What is that now?
All right, so this whole episode is sponsored by our vanilla citizen,
also known as Fab Foot Freddy.
Yes, effective immediately. Because we were like, having our pre-whatever meeting. And I was like, okay, like Royal Fetish Radio, we should probably like talk about a fetish.
Every now and again.
Whatever, to humor the people. And this guy goes, ew, feet are gross. Nobody even asked him. No one even brought up. Like, there was
he went right there.
Right to it. What's your problem with feet?
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us what your issue is.
Oh, God. I wish I could not turn off my camera and turn off y'all camera instead.
You can't, because I'm the host.
This is horrible. But yeah, they look gross.
My feet horrible.
You just gonna come on this show
insulting the host?
Insulting the hostess's feet?
No, man.
You can't come to our Thanksgiving.
Oh man.
I put my foot in it.
That was good. But feet aren't. They look weird. You know what? And in the summertime, that is like the worst part of the summer, other than the fact that bees and other bugs come out. The outside smells like feet. It's outside, and everyone's out there with their flip-flops, not washing, and there's hairy feet, and there's, it's horrible. I can't do it.
So you hate hobbits, is what you're telling me right now.
So
pretty much.
Intimately, like if your partner wants a foot rub, how does that translate for you? Not even a fetish, just like that kind of stuff.
That's different, because I can forego that to give a foot rub, because it's not for me. It'd be for my partner. You know what I'm saying?
You're just telling them your foot smell like all outside.
Like summer.
Your hairy ass hobbit feet. That's what you be doing?
Summertime feet.
I mean, I don't know. It just look weird. It just creep me out.
Have you ever had like a bad experience with feet or anything? I mean, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say anything is wrong with you for disliking feet, but I'm just curious as to, that you have a pair that are attached to you. So just kind of like what that disconnect is with.
You got stomped out by a bunch of Dominicans and chanclas in New York.
It was summer of '89.
And none of them wore socks.
And they were sweaty.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
No, there was no specific experience. It's just not my jam.
Not your thing.
Yeah. Do you have any body part that you're just like, I can't fuck with that body part?
I don't think so. Do I complain about, or even on other people? Like, why do they have that? No, I don't think so. I think, no, I know things that I liked a lot, but there isn't anything that I'm just like, ew, why do humans have that?
Word.
How about for you? No.
Oh, so
I guess that's why we do what we do, though. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, right.
Nah, but so that's interesting. So what about shoes? Do you like women's shoes, or like heels, or combat boots, kicks, anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. Like shoes are cool. I mean, it's something I don't. It's funny. It's not something. Right. I will say
they exist.
Right. I mean, I can. I could appreciate it if a woman has a nice pair of shoes on, but I mean, with that said, I've never ever been in a situation where I'm about to do it, and I'll be like, no, leave those on because I don't want to see your feet. Like that has never happened in the
So
history. Like,
what if her feet touch you while y'all fucking? Would that be a turn off for you?
it wouldn't. I'm probably overstating my case a little bit. I probably don't hate them as much as I'm saying, but for me, I've never, me personally, I've just never the foot worship thing either way has just never been of interest.
You ever got jerked off by feet?
No.
Like them then.
Would you he gonna come back on that next show, guys.
I stand corrected.
Feet are amazing.
The way they just claw right over.
I love summertime.
Those sweaty arches, those feet that come with lube.
So if your partner,
Uh-huh.
the not vanilla madam, was to say that she's just like got a thing for pleasing you with all of her limbs, and she wants to give you a foot job, would you accept?
I try it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then if I don't like it, I could say I don't like it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the way to go about it. What about, do you suck toes?
No.
Will you allow your toes to be sucked?
Definitely not. In fact, so if so, I probably I don't know, if especially if she accidentally touched the bottom of my feet and it got ticklish, I'd probably accidentally like drop kick her or something like that.
I was gonna say, I think I heard it. Actually, you know what? Wait, I'm fine. No, wait. I'm not gonna allow this to happen on my therapy watch. I am making an attachment to a traumatic story and feet and R in your earlier 20s, right?
Short version of it was we were on tour in Germany, and yeah, we were on tour. We were in Germany, and they were checking us, and the metal detector went off. So they asked me to take off my shoes, and they put the scanner over by my foot, and it tickled a little bit. It was horrible. It has, on to this day, has never lived me down on that. Never.
What did you observe from your side?
Well, first, before I do I automatically knew what you were thinking of, because when he was saying that shit, I was like, yo, I wasn't gonna bring it up because I didn't know if you were comfortable discussing that with the audience, you know what I mean? But since you talking about it,
I don't shy away from the truth.
No, that's why I fucks with you. But like, what I observed. Now, mind you, when we travel, my last name's Salon, so I am pretty used to being the one that is pulled to the side and checked, and it's frustrating as fuck. I hate it, and it happens a lot, right? So this is the only time I could ever remember that we were traveling somewhere and they wanted to check R.
Mm.
So like that shit is mad serious.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm, that's my bro. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Looking at the people, mad as hell. He mad because they checking him and they taking off his boots and shit, and then they start rubbing the thing on his foot.
I'm so ticklish, so I can feel that.
And he just starts laughing. And it's like, it's such a tense situation, and everybody there, and it's like these fucking German security guards trying to be serious and shit, and they're starting to like giggle, and this motherfucker's laughing. It was the funniest shit that was not funny that I feel like I've seen, yo. Like it was just so not funny, but completely hilarious.
If I'd have kicked him by accident, we'd be in Germany forever.
Word.
Better situation than we are now. Well, the reason what made me think about that is like, even though there is no attachment necessarily to that experience and your preference for feet or not, but being really ticklish can really might keep a person from being able to explore certain aspects. And I'm a very ticklish person, so it takes a lot to kind of get into the space where I can enjoy my feet being touched in a particular way. So that's all I was really going for.
I am not ticklish.
No.
and I have like basketball injuries and shit in my ankle. So like I want my ankle to be just abused. Like foot massage, punch that shit, try to rip it out the socket. New pain is better than the same pain that's always there. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I do, a lot of people will say like, you know, they shy away from feet because of that tickle and embarrasses them. But I do say, you know, laughter with a lover can be nice. When it's that uncontrollable, you don't want to laugh, you're trying to be serious laughter, not so fun. You know, and it really does have to do with the technique that you use when it comes to massaging feet. And another trick I'll tell people, sometimes you're less ticklish if you have a sock or a stocking on. You know, so that always works. So but what else? I'm trying to think of what other foot. Would you put your foot into someone's ass or vagina? And I don't mean in the fighting way where you're like, I'll put my foot up your ass. I'm talking about in a pleasurable way.
Probably not. I say probably not. I won't say 100% no, but if you ask me the first time, I'm going to be very hesitant.
So if they're persistent and they present a good case, then it's possible.
Is it out of fear of hurting the person? Like, no, we're talking about somebody actually requesting, not like you going. Right. Like, you know, your lover says, I'd like to try a new sensation. I'm pretty sure I can take it. This is how I would like you to do it. And they're welcoming your foot in one of their orifices. What would be your hesitation? Would it be a safety issue, or like, I don't really want to feel that on my feet, or what?
I guess more a safety thing than anything. Even though, I mean, I always keep my nails trim and stuff like that. I cut them on a regular basis myself, so that, you know. But so I don't know. It's just not something. Even though I joked about it in a song once, where it was like there were this song I had called "Last Man on Earth," where like there were so many that the toe was the only thing I had available. But other than, you know, but I mean.
That's where y'all rappers get tripped up. Y'all be talking about shit you don't know about, and then you get called to the table. and now nobody can get your big toe in the ass.
They're gonna be let down.
Yeah, thinking, damn, R is the last man on earth, at least
gonna get this toe popping.
No.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, I guess. I mean, if with enough persistence, I'd be like, okay, we'll try it, but I won't be like, oh hell yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
He's a reluctant toe fucker.
He is. I am definitely an enthusiastic.
You sure fuck off.
I am. It's so warm. It's I don't have a penis, so that, you know, that's the closest thing that I can imagine it must feel like. And so it feels.
You gotta tell R about this scene. I feel like this will help him for when the situation presents itself.
For the end of the world. So
that could be any day.
Yeah, I know, right? I was invited to do this scene for Filthy Femdom on kink.com, and the co-star, who's Tony Orlando, is a, you know, huge pain and anal, I don't know, he's beyond just like enthusiast. He's a professional, he's a performer. And we had a chance to sit and negotiate all of the different things that we could do anally, and he was perfectly okay with me using my foot to penetrate him with. And it was my first time doing it, but it was not the first time that he had this done. So he was able to give me, you know, to guide me. We used lube, we used a latex stocking on my foot.
Like a foot condom.
I had like a foot condom, right, to help with like the ease. And he also had a really, really huge latex fetish. So he loves wearing latex. So the thought of like his outfit and things that he really enjoys also being inserted in him was an added turn on. And so, you know, there was like a technique and an angle, and we talked it through, and like at what point once he relaxed, could I go a little further? And it was because latex is so tight, it's almost like a second skin. You could really feel his body contracting around my foot, which I love pressure on my feet. So it was just, it was great.
It was like a foot massage from the anus for you.
Yeah.
And see,
And a foot massage in the anus for him.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice. So I enjoy that. Over the years, I have learned a lot about like I enjoy using my feet as tools, like to spank with. I enjoy the trampling with just my bare feet. So that's walking on someone with my feet. I like feeling their skin and doing my toes like this, like I don't know. It's kind of like being at the beach with sand, but skin. That's the equivalent, and it's warm, and you can feel their muscles relax and just body pressure. What else I like to do with my feet? I do recently when we did that with the dildo, doing the jerk off scene with the dildo and my feet. I enjoy that a little bit more than it being actually attached to a person's body because you can manipulate it a little bit better. So turning someone on by watching me with a dildo versus doing like a jerk off scene actually on their body is more enjoyable.
Yeah, I like the times that I have like either had like a foot job or I prefer to fuck feet as opposed to the feet giving me a foot job.
Gotcha. So if they just like hold their arches together.
Yeah, if they hold their arches together, because then, you know, sometimes people's, you control it more and they're not going to just haul off and kick you or something.
Right. Well, I like that too. I liked kicking men in the genitals as, you know, if they like it. Like ball busting with the foot. There's a little techniques to that too. It's not. It's don't. This is why we have master fetish trainers.
Exactly.
What are some other foot?
Well, I think this we're going like down this list, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, people's first thought when they think foot fetish is foot worship, or you know, what comes with that. A lot of times, people think like somebody's groveling. They have to be, you know, on their knees praying to feet and things of that nature, and for some people that part of it is a turn off because of, you know, whatever religiosity they might have or dogmatism or something like that. And for me, I think it's always interesting to expand what a foot fetish is for people. You know, for me, when I think of what I like definition on feet the same way I like on the body. Like, so whether you have arches or something about your toes or your heel or whatever, I think is sexy. But me, I am definitely like a shoe and a sneaker person. Like that's where I guess my foot fetish comes in more. Foot like accessories. Yeah, like ankle bracelets. Oh, okay. I'm not big on the toe rings though. I don't like those, but either. Ankle bracelets, and then feet, like for me, it turns me on if it's a thing that turns on my partner. So if somebody likes to get foot massages, they toe suck, things like that, then it does something for me. Yeah. But there are people out there when it comes to feet that, you know, if we all look at like our soles. Some people, their souls are more flushed with blood, so they like them really red, and those people are called vampires. Some people like it when you don't see all that blood in the bottom of the foot. Some people just want to see toes curl up. I remember you had, I filmed for you a custom that someone had wanted to see all these threads like threaded through your toes and things like that, and then they want to see you expand and curl, you know. So everybody has these really intricate fetishes that could be so different that don't always come from worship. The part about foot worship that I do like, you know, and this is whether it's somebody worshiping my feet or me honoring and worshiping someone else's, is that it is humbling. You know, your feet are the lowest part of your body. So to still provide them with love and honor and care and worship is like saying that you do love and care for this person from the top to the bottom, you know? So I think that part of it is really beautiful. I really enjoy foot worship, and this is going to kind of take it a little bit out of the sexual fetishism space and kind of go more into like intimate space around feet. Growing up, like the kids were always like, all the kids in my family were responsible for the adult feet. Like, I don't know if that is like an island thing, a Filipino thing. Like, I'm not really sure, but like
it was always like, you know, if you were a younger person, like, come rub my feet, I just got off of work, or toenails, pedicures, all of that kind of stuff. That was like our job. And depending on who the adult was, like, we might get money for it, like a quarter or something like that. Or, you know, if it was like your mom, then you just got to continue living in the house.
It's important.
It is. And so it is so like, it's like something that you do for your family and people that you love, you know, like forever. Like in my mind, I will always like have to do my mom's feet, you know? And so I think about recently we had quarantine Mother's Day,
yeah.
and like, I was so like, we have to have this foot, you know, but it's so important. So it is very humbling, and it is a space of care. And so I don't know, that's how I look at it. And I also have that like self-regulation of rubbing my feet on you mostly, but and the kids too. It is, again, another form of intimacy, of just like it brings me a lot of comfort, and it does remind me of being a kid. Yeah. See, so feet are not that gross, are.
I mean, it's funny, like, I get this question probably every single Fetish Friday on Instagram, where people are like, why do you keep your sneakers on in so many of your scenes? And part of it is practicality, because I be fucking in a lot of spaces where it's good to have some nice grip and shit. You hear the sneaks moving on the floor. But really it started because of one of our other brothers, Majesty, rest in peace. He was a sneakerhead. And he used to be like, yo, every time I watch porn, the women got some fly ass shoes. They got like red bottoms, or they got this, or they got that. And this fucking guy standing in socks. Or like, or the same pair of Timbs, or the same thing all the time. But like, you know, if you do have a shoe fetish or whatever, and you're seeing like these beautiful shoes on a woman, and it just pops, and it's a beautiful look on the scene, and then the guy is there in some fucking tube socks, it kills it, right? Yeah. So he was like, you need to wear the flyest fucking sneakers in all your scenes. And then it's a shoe fetish. You're gonna be the sneaker fetish king. Trust me, it's gonna work. So like I've honored him, because he was one of the first out of all my brothers that was like, yo, do that shit. Go back into porn. You gonna make it. You're gonna blow up. Come on. And then just introduce me to people. But it was like, you know, so it started off. I didn't really know shit. Like you said in the last episode, I was a white tee and Timberlands guy all the time. The only time I wasn't wearing Timbs is if I had to wear a suit for a funeral or court, or I was wearing kicks to play ball. That was it. So I didn't know nothing about sneakers.
That's why people's feet be so fucking hot and sweaty in the summer, are. That's why.
It's not the Timberlands' fault.
Don't blame the Timberlands.
That's Hygiene's fault.
Wash your fucking feet. Get some aromatics in there. But like, like real talk, as a kid, I didn't grow up with fly sneakers. Like, we couldn't afford it. It wasn't a thing. So I had literally, my brother had to explain, like, yo, you want to get these, you could do these, these are for this. So then it started happening with a lot of fans started reaching out. Yo, I really want to see you in some Jordan 5s or something.
I will send them.
Exactly, or some phone posits or whatever. And now it is something that I feel like
it's part of your brand.
It's part of the brand. I don't feel like there's anybody that's fucking with King Noire shoe game out here. Challenge. What's up?
So this is a fetish that we are not compatible with. Is shoes and sex.
Well, I like you and your shoes.
Thank you, but I don't like having them on, and I don't like you. Yeah, I with sex. I mean, I get everything that you're saying, and I also understand. I think it's nice for if that's the scene and that's the costume, like for like I like things to like look nice. It should complement, and even better, it's nice if the man's shoes complement the woman's shoes. Like if like we do that. Like if I have on black and gold,
coordinate.
I like that. However, in the bedroom or whatever, when it comes to sex, I love to see full vulnerability. And for me, nudity is full vulnerability, especially for men showing their feet. It also, because a lot of porn used to show like men barely would they wouldn't take off their pants. You know, they would be like around their.
Yeah, that's
And you kind of got the impression that like, okay, when this is done, like he's gone, or he barely wants to be here. So there is something like I translate to like taking off everything and like seeing the bottom of men's feet. You get to see like when people have their shoes off, their feet do certain things that translate how they feel. So I like seeing that would be like kind of my foot fetish in sex. Now, one thing I do love, especially about women's feet, is if they point well. Like a dancer's feet that point beautifully. There is one performer that we have worked with and continue to work with, and I love her work for this. It's Avery Jane. Like she has the best pointed toes when she has sex in the industry.
She ballerina.
She was, and as soon as when we first met and we shot Poly Sutra, and her and Sarah Lace were warming up and they were doing their splits and just like kind of getting limber for the shoot. And she's pointing her toes. Oh, that's what you did with your mom's good ballet money. And she was like, she was so proud. I was like, oh, this is going to be such a beautiful shoot because she has perfect lines. So yeah, that's kind of my foot fetish in terms of like sex entertainment.
So has there been anything that we discussed that you're like, yeah, I kind of understand that or kind of fuck with that? Or are you still just like, them shits is gross?
I will say, maybe except for one time, I've never seen a woman wear ankle bracelets who wasn't absolutely gorgeous. I don't know.
Because she pays attention from head to toe.
That's detail.
Yeah, that's detail.
That's detail.
So I will say that I even though I'm not like, if I see that, it's usually a sign that she's got the goods everywhere else.
Well, I think that's with feet too, with like painted toenails,
manicured feet.
Yeah, manicured feet and all that. I think that attention to self-care and just overall fly behavior is sexy as fuck, you know?
I remember us almost sending a sub home because of that poor attention to detail. And it wasn't even like you need to go and pay money to get them done, but like, why is your shit chipped? Like either take it all the way off or put it all the way on. And I actually had a partner that was very, very particular about that. That was a huge pet peeve of his, is chipped polish. And he wasn't like it has like you have to have long nails or red nails or anything like that. It was just kind of the same thing. Like if you're gonna do it, do it.
So like I know obviously when we were trying to come up with stuff for the show, and even though I said let's not do feet or whatever, like this actually turned out to so with y'all experience with everything, so nothing foot related at all, what would you say is in your work has been, I guess, the other most common fetish that you guys have and whether done, whether it's working or been exposed to or anything like that?
The most common for me that like people request the most is impact play. Yeah,
I would say impact play. I'd expand it just a little bit. I think the thing that people ask the most is about dom sub relationships. Yeah. But then they want to understand the actual impact play and all that. But yeah, we get asked about dom sub relationships all the time.
Okay, got you.
How about for you? I mean, we talked about a fetish you don't like. Is there one that you do? And maybe we can end on that.
I don't really have, it's funny because, I mean, there's not a, that's a good question. Because I don't know if some of the things that I like or anything really, fetish worthy or anything. Like, I don't know if it's the kind of thing that would be classified as a fetish, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's more.
To quote you like clapping cheeks, right?
Absolutely.
So you definitely have an ass fetish. As long as I've known you, you are definitely what they would consider to be an ass man.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean,
so that's a fetish.
So that, and also I would say this, a really, really nice pair of thighs. Because the thing is, like, not everyone's gonna have, you know, a really big butt, but it might be a nice shaped butt or whatever. So like, I'm definitely an ass man, no question. But I would say I'm definitely big on thighs, on the upper thigh. To me, like, if someone doesn't have like a big booty, like you could work with it, you know, because especially bent over like that, it's gonna look good no matter what. But you know, the thigh game got to be on point, especially if I'm, you know, diving in there beforehand or whatever the case is. Sometimes there's something really nice about grabbing a pair of thighs, kissing on a pair of thighs. It's like when I see a nice pair, I just picture them crushing my head, you know.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, that's a big fetish right there.
Okay, we got your number. So basically, you just like us, like from the knee up. We got you.
But you know, just talking about getting crushed by thighs, right? That in itself is a couple of fetishes. Like some people like the asphyxiation aspect of it. So there's breath play involved there. Some people might want to wrestle. Jazz has done a bunch of wrestling scenes, you know, and they want to get flipped over, held by somebody's thighs, or, you know, thighs, the skin on the inner thigh is extremely sensitive, you know, and just the different ways that you can play with thighs, whether it's licking or blowing or feathers or ice or candle wax, like
it's
you
all
can incorporate
too. It's so close to the genitals.
Yeah. So there's trust, and it's great that you say that, and that's one of the reasons why we did want to have you on the show. Is exactly what you said, where you were like, I'm not sure if the things I'm into are fetish worthy. You know, all of us have fetishes. Like literally, the definition of fetish is something that turns you on that's not directly correlated to procreation. So every other thing that we're into and that we like is a fetish, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, trust, as we go and do more shows and all that, you're going to find out you have all the fetishes.
All of them, except for feet.
Except for feet.
That's fair.
All right. Well, everybody go wash your feet.
And Jazz.
Not in that order. You should probably start up and work your way down.
Yo, that's the question. Would you rather your feet smell like ass or your ass smell like feet?
I would rather my...
Which one are?
I would say I'd rather my feet smell like ass because they're further away from my nose. I could put Timberlands on them and nobody would know.
Everybody would know in the summertime.
And no, they wouldn't, because everybody's feet would smell like ass and they wouldn't know mine. All right, let's end on that one. What would your answer be?
I mean, it's better. All right, so the lesser of the two evils is if the feet smell like ass, because if your ass smells like feet, then you're everywhere on you probably smells really bad.
It's coming from the inside. How about for you?
He said the lesser of two evils. He took this shit to the election.
Sure the fuck did.
Oh man, to me this is like such a chicken or the egg question.
Well,
but I definitely don't want my ass to smell like feet.
Okay, so we all got some shitty smelling feet. You're right, to ours point.
So look, he was right in the end.
Yeah.
Royal Fetish Radio signing off.